because the hour is upon us and we begin soon.
See if I can find any decent Batman Beyond ink clips.
Come on, Thread. Cooperate.
Like there was
man.
also
Stop.
the I can't remember his name, but it was the radioactive guy. He was cool.
He wasn't Bane, was he?
He wasn't.
No, he was an industrialist. I think his name was like Max
Yeah.
Powers or something.
Yeah.
He got a name though when he was radioactive Skullman. I forget what the name was though. For some reason, I want to say that they named him Bane
Like
or Blight.
Blight.
Blight?
Yeah. Ink and Blight had a character meeting for a while.
I can dig it.
Yeah,
That's a good name.
Bane was pretty old and decrepit in a wheelchair from him using his juice so much.
Oh yeah. I for some reason I thought they had the same name. For whatever reason. Because for Batman Beyond, they kind of recycled some of the old enemies.
Mm. Yeah, like
Like I'm
the
pretty.
timeless ones got or the ageless ones got recycled, but
Yeah, I think it was like an ice guy who was analogous to Mr. Freeze.
like Mr. Freeze is kind of like ageless because of who he is and what he is.
Was he just straight up Mr. Freeze then?
There was a Mr. Freeze, yeah.
I can believe it. He's on ice. He's been preserved. I still need you. Chill. Now is the winter of our discontent.
It looks like Light might have killed Freeze,
Fuck him.
or at least that was the fight that got rid of Freeze. Because oh hey, let's get the guy permanently on cryo and put him with a fucking reactor.
I gotta revisit that cartoon. It was good. Oh, here's an idea. Robert, open your notes, please. You might have to use those today. Let's get off of this gloomy nighttime map. And, oh, everyone got moved to Port Nyanzer. Didn't mean to do that. Whoopsie doopsie. Moving everyone to the correct map.
Back to the Coconut Shore.
It was a nice,
Back to the Coconut Shore.
nice gloomy map.
The map fully revealed now. You guys cleared an area, so the map is revealed. That's how it works in the video games, right?
It's literally the only part of the video game that I pay attention to is I need to make the whole map not under Fog of War anymore.
Make map clear. That's why Alina bolted it.
Yeah.
I understand the method to her madness now.
I believe she thought she was going to be fancy with some flanking, but yeah.
I mean, the wing thing was pretty fancy, just,
She was expecting the bad guy to be further
Alright,
this
so
direction.
at 7:45 rolls by and socks us all on the nose. Is everyone, does anyone object to starting?
No
Not at all.
objections here.
Let's go.
Fucking go! Let me just get a quick mic check. 1, 2, 3. Can I get a mic check from the class?
Hello.
Teacher.
Yeet.
Hello.
Okay, the only person, only adjustment I need to do is turn Mitch down a little bit, because everyone else is maxed out. Ah, normalization. Love to see it. Alright, so, as we get into the thick of it, Would anyone like to take initiative and start us off with a recap?
We fought crabs.
We fought so many crabs.
Yeah,
Many.
no.
We fought less enemies than I thought we would because Mbanje was just the MVP and turned like half our enemies into allies.
I mean, if we're going by weight, then yes, the king crab was about half the weight of all the crabs around.
Yeah, he didn't turn all the crabs, but once the king crab showed up, everybody else got out of the way. And then Mbanje did indeed. He found out that the king crab was being controlled. Note here. By a creature called Freluth, which seemed like a fish man.
Water
And
demon.
then Mbanje, go ahead.
Oh, just some sort of water demon. Because I think it was a
Yeah.
fiend.
Yeah, water demon. And Mbanje asked the king crab to stand down. King crab revealed in its own way that it couldn't. So Mbanje took a chance and cast Dispel Magic, which dispelled the charm because Veldy also was charmed into attacking him. So he figured, let's try the same thing to see if that's what the issue is. And it was. So everybody ganged up on Freluth and beat his ass for daring to hurt Crabkind.
Give the crab
It was a
kind
very irate demon thing.
extremely irate. Yeah, that seems
Turns
to
out-
that seems to cover the.
Yeah.
You go.
It turns out the weird elemental that Alina was 80% sure there was an elemental. Turns out it was a Warforged covered in seaweed.
With a half-swallowed octopus that you assisted in extricating from the Warforged's mouth, allowing him to speak to you. He explained that his name was Gallium Ironfoot, and after just a little bit of back and forth, he learned that you are a paladin, and you learned that he is looking for one of his own kind, an arcanist by the name of Roar. He began to ask for directions, and then asked you to lead the way, and then started to walk in front of you, and that seems to be the dynamic.
And Alina has been bolting in front of him, so...
He's got long legs.
kind of a foot race at this point.
Kind of a foot race. That seems to cover the large sweeps of the game. Does anyone have anything else to add?
No, that was largely it.
Gallium is now not Gilnean, but has a Gilnean accent, which is hilarious considering the amount the party now has 3 Gilneans of various quality.
Various quality of
Various
Gilnean.
quality.
Fine, coarse, and medium. Alright, let me just get in here real quick. Character profiles. Okay. So, Alina, you take point and you begin to lead Gallium back toward the plantation home to check in with the Magdalena family. As you guys begin to make your way up the hill of the shore and toward the more thickly settled jungle, and the plantation that's just on the outskirts of the jungle, change gears real quick. There, nice and pleasant. You guys look out to sea for but a moment. You see that the storm has dissipated, and the sun is beginning to set. It has grown late in the day. You guys have been out traveling all day, doing combat, investigating, harvesting, foraging. And after this little setback, it would seem that you guys are approaching evening on your way back to Magdalena Plantation home. It doesn't take you long to make your way uphill and toward the tall stone wood building. You see that the number of farm hands, dark-skinned, freckled, common folk of Tikal, the native inhabitant, you receive, occasional cheers, waves. They recognize what you have done, and they are getting back to their lives, getting back to their work, bringing satchels to the shore. It would seem as though they had watched you from a distance and seen your battle, your altercation take place, undoubtedly drawn by the distant wails of the Crab King to become watchers of the whole ordeal. The youngest of the Magdalenas, Dengo, the young tree climber, the one who's currently chicken winged with his sling, he bounces excitedly as you guys approach. He is still holding onto Mishka. Mishka or Misha?
It's Misha.
Misha. I have to adjust that. I will remember to adjust that. I probably forget to adjust that. Misha. Holding onto Misha, who lets out a little woof in your direction, a lazy little bork of acknowledgement as you approach. Vanya, you see that your skeleton friends are very much intact. Your bony boys have been being quite polite and well-mannered while keeping company to young Denga. As you approach the entryway of the large plantation home, you see that the old woman, Omoyala, is sitting, cane in hand. Nabali is nearby as they watch you approach. The older woman looks a lot less cross and she looks tired as you make your approach.
I will not like grab Misha, but I'll definitely like pick up Misha, give him nuzzles, and be like,
Oof.
"We've fixed the problem. Most of the crabs should be going out to sea again."
Nabali, she pulls her hands to her chest and almost like a prayer gesture, and bows her head excitedly up and down. We've seen the work that you have done. We cannot thank you enough. That was a display. It was a rather grand display.
And Bajay speaks up. I don't think the crabs are gonna bother you anymore this season. I think you're gonna have to deal with the normal sort of vying for space as previous seasons. This was a bit unorthodox, but everything should be taken care of.
The normal migration of the coconut crabs are usually not a problem. I think we can handle it from here. If the big one comes back, can we count on you to return?
The big one shouldn't be back and cause you a problem. I was able to speak with it, if you suspend your belief a little bit, and he wonders about how much to say and just shrugs. It was being controlled by something out there, but I was able to break the spell, and I think we're on good terms.
What
But
he means to say is yes. If there's any trouble, you can call on us.
True
Nabali
facts.
smiles. Nabali smiles and nods her head, and Dengo just kind of looks about the group, and he is rather preoccupied at Gallium's presence. He kind of squints a little bit. How come there is another one of you? There were only 5, now there are 6. This one is, who are you?
He came from the sea to help us defeat the fiend.
Gallium come from sea to help defeat mean creature in ocean. Da. Dengo just kind of grins and laughs and nods, accepting the idea that this heroic figure just showed up to help you guys out. While you guys discuss things, Omiel has been looking the group over, occasionally squinting at Mbanje, but she remains mostly quiet, keen to listen. Naboli, she, with her hands clasped, looks the group over. We cannot thank you enough. Is there anything that we can offer you in exchange for your services?
Do you have a shipment of coconuts that we could maybe help escort back to the city? I think there was mention of pie.
And we do not have any pie currently, but we do have several shipments that must be... it is high time for us to bring them to town, yes. If you are willing, some of the carts are already mostly prepared. Many of the hands have moved to the shores to begin the harvest, to finish the harvest. If you're willing to stay for an hour, we can have one of the carts ready.
How late in the afternoon is it?
This is close to evening. This is close to sunset.
Twilight.
Twilight.
It is getting a little late.
It's a late hour.
We could just head back to the city. Or perhaps if you have a boat we could borrow, we could just take a boat back to the harbor. It would be faster.
A boat. She rubs her chin slightly and glances toward the shore. There were a number of boats. Unfortunately, a number of them have become damaged. I am not sure if there are any that are sea-worthy at the moment.
Alright, we'll just walk back and you get your shipments in order.
Very well. We will get the shipments, and it is a bit late in the evening to start sending them out. If you would like, we could provide a cart, an empty shipment, to ship you. If you are willing to travel in the dark.
I am willing to travel in the dark. How about everyone else?
I travel in the dark all the time. It's not a problem.
I will likely go wherever my companions go.
Alright, then the cart to borrow would be fantastic, and we could just make our way back to the city. And
Gallium rubs beneath his where a nose should be, his finger kind of scraping against the metal plating. You have cart. Gilliam can drive cart. If you are not willing to part with field hands or endanger field hands, Gilliam is willing to help things move along. We borrow cart, they keep field hands, da?
even better.
Naboli nods. Very well. We can spare one of our carts, absolutely. We will have it ready for you in a moment. Several moments. She turns about and approaches the side of the building, calls out in Draconic to one of the some of the hands that are nearby. Most of you, I think, speak Draconic.
Not Alina!
Oh.
Alina's mother's taught her Gilnean, not Draconic.
Nope, my languages are a bit more exotic.
Okay. So some of you don't understand, but some of you do pick up, essentially calling for someone to get a cart up and running, hitch some of the drawing beasts. And some time begins to pass. As you guys wait for the cart to get hitched and prepared, what is everyone up to?
I would like to work on teaching Misha, stay.
Stay. All right. So you guys find yourselves with a little bit of spare time while the cart is prepped, while the beasts are hitched to it. Gallium is pulled aside to be instructed, and he bids you a brief farewell. Elena, you have a few free moments with Misha, in which time you attempt to teach a puppy how to stay. Um, is there a particular method that you're going for, or just repetition?
Like repetition, like I'm gonna like do that thing where I like set him down and then I say stay, and then I walk 2 steps away, and like if he doesn't come to me, I'll come back to him and give him a little treat. Just like, just teaching.
Give me a quick animal handling check.
Sure thing. Eh.
11. So it is definitely a lot of trial and error, with mostly error. Misha seems more interested in approaching you than staying put. After the 15th or 16th time, he does manage to sit upon your insistence upon staying. Whether it's because he's tired, because he's a low energy pup, or whether it's because it's beginning to sink in, you're not sure. But you do manage to get arguably some degree of success.
Then I just shower praise on him and call it good. Alina is not a dragon parent for this puppy. She's just like, hey, you managed to do the thing even by accident. Yay, you!
Yeah, you good job. Maybe even by accident, but you did the thing.
What a good boy.
All right, is anyone else performing any activities, checking anything out?
And Baje's just kind of chilling, resting. It's been a eventful day, so he's just sitting back and watching the men and ladies pull harvest their coconuts.
You see that they are very active. Torches and braziers have been lit all across the shore. You see just these pyres of light as in the steadily growing darkness of the coastline, as people are sweating in what's left of the sun, getting back to work, moving with haste to recoup their losses, essentially.
Imbange,
Yeah.
can you talk to Misha?
Let me check my spells. I should still have that ready. I do.
Yes, I can actually do that.
Can you tell him he is the best boy?
Okay.
And
So before you use your spell, just remember that you are a furbolg, and you have access to a trait called Speech of Beast and Leaf, I believe. It's not quite speak with animals, but it does have some functions if you want to retain your spell slots.
Yeah. Me and Alina's like, I just want to make sure that he knows that he is home, he is happy. I am going to take care of him. It's been a bit of a day for him. He's gone on a big adventure and he's away from his mama for the first time. Yeah.
Well, thanks for the reminder. I can indeed do that. So, Mbaje is gonna kind of clear his throat and get down with Misha.
Hey, Misha, buddy. Your mom here wants you to know that you're the best donkey in the whole world.
And his yips and yaps and ruffles.
Yeah, you guys get Mbanje as he's doing a lot of gesticulation and maybe a little bit of grunting, some dog-like noises. It doesn't sound much like a language, but Misha's tail is wagging. It's wagging quickly, and as you finish informing young Misha about that he's the best boy, he lets out a small whoop.
I think he appreciates your message.
Thank you, Mbanje. I owe you one.
It's okay. We're all in this together. I love to see young Misha grow up nice and strong.
Okay. as you guys finish the little training session and embolden and bolster the trainee doggo, you hear the sound of grinding and twisting, gears turning, and large wheels crushing gravel and sand beneath their spokes. A large wooden wagon with a canvas top approaches, and it looks, fairly bog standard for a cart large enough to store your group and then some. What is perhaps slightly peculiar to absolutely none of you is that rather than horses, it is being drawn by two rather large, rather squat dinosaurs. They are wide with like spiky tails. Give me 1 second to look up how this looks real quick.
I've spent this time just getting cleaned up, making sure my skeletons were okay, and kind of fussing about them and being lost in my own thoughts until the cart's drawn out.
Right on. And you're pulled away and kind of distracted a little bit as these large, low to the ground, almost turtle-like in shape creatures. They have long tails with a club-like appendage at the end, covered in thick spikes across their backs and on their shoulders, with tiny little heads that have two smaller spikes that extend out from behind the brow and out from behind the cheeks. In Bonjay, I think you'd probably get it right off the bat that these are ankylosauruses.
Meta question. I should be writing these things down that I see this so I can turn it into them, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, if there's a creature that you know about, you can absolutely turn into it if it's the right CR. A young ankylosaurus, you've never attempted it. They are a sturdy creature that is perhaps slightly more threatening than you are used to turning into. A lot of the creatures that you've turned into have been smaller or less threatening, or both. Galleon looks pleased as punch, if a Warforged could smile. He holds onto a set of thick leather reins as the party bus approaches the group. He pulls back. Oh, nice, just like horse. You are right, Naboli. And Naboli nearby, sitting beside him in the carriage, takes her leave of this giant metal man and hops onto the ground, walks out to the front, pets one of the creatures on the face. If you bring them to Tiriki, Master Andanai, he will board them for us. He always has.
This is a good plan. I will make sure it's taken care of.
She inclines her head and nods toward your group. I would wish you safe travels. We will be arriving in the morning as early as we can to make our delivery.
Would it be okay to say goodbye to the mistress of the house?
As you say that, Omoyala, who has been sitting at the stoop, just kind of grunts in your direction.
Well, he steps forward.
Be
Lou?
careful.
Not too close. And he bows his head.
It has been a pleasure to free your plantation from the menace. We hope to eat from the fine coconuts that you will be bringing to the city.
She squints at you, and you see her looking at you through those Coke bottle glasses with her beady little eyes. And as she kind of chews on her words for a few moments, you recognize she has almost no teeth, the way that she's just chewing her lips. But after several moments,
you're a lot smaller now. Appreciate it. You find no better coconuts on the island. You enjoy them, Mr. Adventurer.
I fully plan to. He nods his head again and returns to his group.
She pounds her cane on the ground as you go and nods, seeing you off.
I think you've endeared yourself to her.
And Bajay wiggles his brows.
Well, if there's nothing else to be done here, I think we can head off.
Sounds good.
I'm thinking it is time to move. We are wasting precious sunlight. Any of you have torches?
I
Checking.
have some. Gallium cannot see in the dark. And I'll pull
Yes.
out a... I will also help you see in the dark. I'll hop on the cart on the seat next to him and light a torch.
All right.
I will actually conjure up with a swick of my hand 4 dancing lights and just kind of spread them out to the 4 corners around the cart and just start them orbiting slowly around us.
All right. As you guys load up into the cart, Vanya, your skeletons don't immediately join you in the cart. They loom outside. One of them, Frank, appears fixated on one of the orbs. Or at least that's the impression that you get as he kind of faces its direction, looking at the fairy fire.
I kind of cock my head. And is Jack climbing in?
They are standing at attendance, but they have not entered.
Come along, you two. There's room for everyone.
Give me a quick insight check.
Insight. Check.
Okay. Wow. So there's this moment. There's this moment where they look at each other, and there's like, it looks as though they're pausing to consider what you're saying, but you're certain that that is not a thing that they do. After several moments, they begin to clamber into the cart, just crawling over the sides. And at first glance, it's actually kind of creepy as they kind of loom and reach their bony hands and almost animalistically slump into the cart. But they right themselves and they stand standing in the cart while the rest of you sit.
Sit down, please. I don't want you to fall off.
Let me get their names real quick. There's Jack and... Are they under pets? Did I put them under pets?
Pets.
Nice. Jack takes a seat on the bench-like wooden frame. Frank sits cross-legged, crisscross applesauce on the floor. Gallium,
Is Frank still looking at the orbs of light?
yeah, kind of just staring in the direction.
I'm going to call one. I'm going to just kind of mentally nudge one of the lights out of the rotation and over to the cart to Bob in front of Frank.
You watch as the skeleton reaches their hands out and kind of cups it. Not touching it, but just holds their hands like a bowl beneath the ball of flame. Staring.
Alina!
Yes.
Have you ever seen this kind of behavior demonstrated by the undead before?
Have I? I'll look him over.
You can roll history, arcana, religion, survival? I mean, this is home.
I did not give him any instructions, but he seems interested in the light.
It looks like he's growing a personality, but that's Heather's and Alina's analysis before the religion check of 18.
Religion check. I think a religion check of 18 is enough. Alina, you are brought back with a snap to the teachings of Lady Chantel and those within her clergy, of the layers of separation between a person and a soul. there is the body, the corpse, the bones, the physical attributes of a being. Beyond that, there is the soul, which is thoughts, dreams, feelings. Not so much the mind, but the pure and distilled essence of what a person is. Their being. That which passes on after death, that which is indestructible. Tying the mind to the soul, to the body, and getting it to synchronize and move. It is believed among alchemists and those who study dead, the death, the undeath, the proper burial and transferal of the souls to the afterlife. This is the purview of necromancers or your particular religion, and perhaps some others, is that there is an essence, which is, it comes by different names. Some call it spirit, some call it will. It's that which allows you to think about moving a limb and make it move. Not just thinking, but the impetus to do so. You understand it is called the animus. The animus is what necromancers use to make the undead move. They bind the animus, or someone else's animus, that which is left over, the willpower, to a skeleton or to a zombie. It's not the soul that they bind back or the mind that they bring back, but that link, that glue that puts it all together. Some undead will show things similar to muscle memory. Some habits just can't die. Some quirks just don't go away once the animus has been rebound to the body.
Yeah. Okay. I'll kind of think for a moment and then look to... So there's 3 parts of each of us. There is a soul, a body, and a mind. Yes? Holding together all these 3 parts is what is called the animus. When a necromancer brings back something like a zombie or a skeleton, they bind the animus back to the body. Even if not the soul or the mind. But some things are buried so deep in our soul or in our minds that they imprint on the animus. So, you get little artifacts. Your friend likes lights, it seems.
Curious.
I'm going to settle in and pull out a little notebook and start scribbling some notes in it.
Alina, as you explain this, and as you look away from Vanya, you see that Gallium is watching you, and he has one of his brows, a magnet-like flap of metal is lifted up emotively, and he nods his head. This is well said.
One of my mothers, Kate, was a paladin of the Raven Queen. My other mother, Elia, studied the undead extensively.
So you truly know your enemy.
Enemy is a strong word.
He inclines his head and nods a little bit, and he flicks the leather straps, and Killisaur's start moving, drawing your carriage. You guys move at it's not the quickest pitch, but it is a little bit faster than by walking by foot. As you slowly descend down the hill away from the plantation home of the Magdalena family.
I just want to have a quick conversation with Gallium, though.
It's time for conversation. It is road time. We are on the road. Hope you all like songs.
So the thing about, I will summon my loot in a minute. But the thing about undead that you must know about the call is that not all undead are inherently evil here. Many are useful, like Jack and Frank. Jack and Frank, yes, Vanya?
Yes.
So you kind of have to just make a case-by-case judgment on them.
Well, Gallium will defer to Raven. Talon? Talon of Raven.
So, yeah, it's best to case by case on undead for at least this island. I know a lot of paladins and clerics from away have trouble adapting.
He inclines his head and he gives the reins another flick as you guys continue moving. Gallium will admit, see skeleton, first reaction is to grab club, large hammer or perhaps sword. But you're Frank and
Jack.
Jack, Yuck and Frank, they are seeming like polite enough.
So, we've got Alina and Gallium in the front seat with Misha in between them. And Alina will summon her loot and make her loot full size.
Alright, you begin playing on your lute. And you guys make your way onto one of the more traveled roads, eventually slipping through the edge of the woods and into the forest proper. And it's a quiet trek through the damp and now slowly starting to cool jungle around you. Still wet, still a bit humid, but it's not as overbearingly warm as it had been.
The entire time, I'm going to keep one of my dancing lights with Frank.
Oh yeah, Frank seems content to watch, almost as though hypnotized, fixated even.
I'll end up just kind of having it change colors and shapes in his hands every so often.
As you... Oh, go ahead.
As they walk in the, like... Sorry, I had to change pages. In a lull in, like, conversation and playing, Banji is going to speak up and mention, so about the fellows we fought, I kind of got a sense that what the crab was saying is that it was a title and maybe not the thing's name. A name, but not the title. Sorry.
I feel like it's perfectly in character for Sanjay to circle around like that.
Gallium nods and hooks over his shoulder to look at you, and you guys are mostly on a straightaway. So, well, basically his hands are off the wheel. He looks back to
Alina
you.
will just, like, quietly take the reins and be like...
both hands off the wheel, driving with his knees. Gallium nods in your direction. He's unlikely that creature is called a Frelith. You are in Bungie. You are Firbolg, da?
And Banji nods his head. To be honest, you're kind of like one of the first few, or I guess, other than an entire plantation of people there, that have gotten to see me like this verse. So, congratulations.
It's Gallium's pleasure. Konnichiwa. Genki desu ka?
I beg your pardon?
What? I don't.
Can I roll and something?
You can-
Can I roll something to figure out what the hell he's saying or
Actually,
what he's
Anya
speaking?
has absolutely no idea.
does Mbanje know what he said?
You've heard enough from your parents to know that that's the language of the old country.
Okay.
What do I roll?
History, maybe?
Nope.
Nope. You don't recognize the butchering of that language.
Also, she's trying to make the thing not crash.
Yeah.
And Mbanje kind of opens his mouth.
Arigato for the greeting, my guy.
His jaw opens wide, and you see it kind of kinks to the side as he gives you this half-cocked, half-angled grin, brows high up. Yeah. Otonin is not strong with Galleon, but he tries. You are far away from home.
It's quite a story of how I got here. Not the most pleasant one.
Oh, the Galleon will not pry. Is your story? You will keep until you are ready to tell. Frelith, he is, Galleon believes he is Hydroloth. Is part of family of devil known as Yugoloth. Is like, how to put he's like a soldier, but you have marines, a strike force, stronger, bigger, meaner. Yugoloths are specialty devil. All have special skills, built for special reason. Very few. And it is known that they are mercenary creature. They, unlike many devil, they acquire gold, wealth, through any means. One could summon one to fight war, and they will ask for king's ransom. Or soul. Soul is also good. But gold comes first.
So there was someone who made this devil specifically to control the crab? Who was this?
Well, yes and no. Many eons ago, he said powerful devil wizards of some kind. I'm not sure if hag or if archdevil. They are born of magic. All were made, all Yugoloths come into existence through dark ritual. Then they are not so useful, so become mercenary.
I will admit no small curiosity as how a demon ended up or devil ended up on our island. We have not had a good history with them on Tikal.
Gallium shrugs his shoulders. Is mystery to Gallium. Perhaps someone call.
Will be another thing for me to look into, because we have had questioned was it a demon or a devil that
A demon?
we had a difficulty with a demon before.
Demon. Much different reasons for being demons. Is no good from demon. Very little good from devil, but no good from demon. And yet, they thrive on chaos. They are chaos. That perhaps for devil, maybe someone summon, or is Yugoloth, maybe is a business venture to be made. Have you dragons nearby? Or perhaps rich kings?
There was a dragon. I killed it.
This, you are killing dragon. Well done! Well done! And he reaches back and slaps you on the back.
I had help with some friends. Your friend Roar helped a great deal.
Oh, kill dragon?
Roar?
Yet, you are mistaken.
No, I am not.
Roar is...
He lost his pet during it. Made a new
Elos
pet.
Cerberus.
He did. Cerberus died in the with the dragon fight, but made a new pet. More terrifying.
He looks distant for a moment and rubs his chin. You see his brows arch in what looks to be a somewhat anguished look, or perhaps just forlorn. Hard to say. It is that is bad news. Gillian would not think he would have it in him to kill dragon. He is Arcanist is a smart boy, young, much too young to be slain dragon or a losing friend. He's more important than ever that Gallium find him.
Well, we'll check in with Reginald. When we get to the city. If anyone is keeping track of the cat and her friends, it's him.
Cat, friends, there is much to learn. Gallium will be sticking around you to learn. Get names, know people.
And we will help you find your old friends.
He smiles again and gives the reins takes the reins for a moment, gives them a little flick, and holds on to them this time instead of driving with his knees. As you guys make a turn through the woods and deeper yet into the jungle. As you speculate and consider the origin of the entity called Freleth and the Hydroloth as it is, Alina, considering who perhaps could have summoned this thing or what could have drawn him close. You return back to playing, I would assume?
Yeah, less like playing actual music, but more like thoughtful strumming of the lute.
Noodling. You noodle up the lute and come up with a few
Licks.
doodles. Yeah, a few licks, few doodles. Checking through my notes.
Hey, Elodie, do you play anything?
Nope.
Maybe you should get Alina to teach you.
If I was interested, I'd ask.
I just figured you were a bit afraid.
I make a ball of light start orbiting in Banjay's head.
You create a ball of light and it just kind of floats around in Banjay's head, letting it up from the left, letting it up from the right, swirling to the front, so on and so forth. As you guys get deeper and deeper into the bush, more time passes. And Banjay, that scent of sweet smoke, again, you catch it on your nostril. And you recognize that there is a camp nearby, likely Star's camp, which seems to be in place for now. Normally he would pack it up and move it, but it looks like things are kind of in where they are. The sky grows dark over the course, and starlight begins to twinkle above the breaks in the canopy. With the provided torch, you guys can see far enough around you. Between the torch and the starlight, it is mostly dim, except for when fully under the canopy. The Ankylosauruses, they have no problem moving. They continue to draw the cart without issue.
As they go, Banjay is gonna let the Ankylosauruses know that they're doing a great job.
You get back a couple of appreciative grunts. They appear to be trying to communicate back, but you can't quite catch most of it. But you're certain that they understand you and that they appreciate your cheering them on. As Melina, as you continue to noodle away at your loot, Galleon inclines his head and sort of glances in your direction and tilts his head slightly. Galleon has been thinking. Your mother was a Raven Queen Paladin,
She was.
Your mother was a researcher, too?
Yes. I have two mothers.
Gillian was not sure it worked that way, but you are human?
ASMR.
ASMR. Oh, no. Thought he felt something strange.
A weird one, but an ASMR.
A weird ASMR. And he lets go of one of the reins to rub underneath his nose, question mark, for a moment. Follower of... One moment. Follower of Matron of Ravens. She is old friend of Forge Lord. Half ASMR too is... Unlikely this is by chance. You done good. The Morden Summon takes note of good deeds.
Morden Summon?
He nods. Gallium is follower of Morden Summon. His high dwarves, his brothers in arms to Morden. Is, well, much like there is soldier, there is marine. There is circle of followers of Morden. His appointed champions. Long dead people, but the spirit lives on. Specifically, Gallium follows Dogmarin Brightmantle. Is a wandering tinkerer, a god of knowledge. And invention.
I see why you would be friends with Roar.
Had met him after his kindling. It is by chance. Gallium was in time, bringing artifacts back to Papa. After repairs, met with Roar. Learned of his newness, and then, after making friendship with him, his Papa pass. So, Gilliam believes perhaps it is best for him not to wander too much by himself, yeah? He has not had a Papa for very long like Gilliam has.
So you're like his big cousin.
Big cousin, Try to push him in the right direction, teach him, have him learn. For a while he was adventuring with me.
I can tell you, the party he is currently traveling with is good. They are one is a close friend of mine since childhood. Bones, she's an inquisitor. There's Verdi, ranger, very skilled.
One of the best pathfinders on the island.
One of the best pathfinders on the island, to be sure. And then there's Karn. He is a druid. He's also a warforged. Last I met him, he could only say, "I am Karn," but he is a good man.
Gallium does not remember a Karn or a Warforged who only says I am Karn. That is not familiar to Gallium.
He's an odd duck,
Hmm.
but very,
Yes.
very talented. Can talk to animals like Mbanje, and summoned a bunch of things, to help us defeat the dragons, including lightning, which is very useful.
Alina, since you're chatting with him, I'd like you to roll an insight check.
Sure.
As Gallium grows very silent.
11. That feels on task. Or at least on brand.
Yeah, well, as Gallium has 0 poker face, you see... I should probably take a picture of this roll. Not going to. You see him bring his knuckle to his mouth and actually chew on it slightly. His brows are furrowed. You can't see which direction he's looking, but you see the little slots, the slats of his eyes squint open and squint closed and open and closed and open. As you carry on speaking, you get the impression that he's not just listening to you, but he's listening to everything you say and parsing it and studying it and trying to understand it. You see a look of very human, very close to human concern and maybe worry.
You are concerned.
Oh, well, concern is one way to put it. You know much about Lior?
Not as much as I probably should.
Specifically Lyceum.
It is
it
a
is,
school for wizards.
The magic happens there. Lyceum is place of rekindling. Is only place of rekindling that Gallium is knowing of. When pieces and bits and parts of my kind come out of the earth, found, uncovered, they are brought to Lyceum, and only Lyceum. Only there do they know how to rekindle us, to bring us back from the long sleep. We lose ourselves, but when we awaken, we have some bits and pieces. Gallium has funny voice and appreciation of glass. Some songs of Gilneas, but
You're
Gallium
animus.
doesn't remember.
Like our friend Jack there.
His lenses close and open, and close and open, and close and open. And you see his jaw open very, very slightly. Guys, is possible one way of seeing. Gallium must talk to Papa about this. Нет, overtime. It's overtime.
Vanya is paying attention to the conversation, but just quietly watching as they go on.
The point is, at Lyceum is only place for Warforged to come back. Gallium knows of all who have been awakened. Remember, seeing the books, seeing the paintings. He taps his head a few times with a dunk, dunk, dunk. He opens his hand and kind of rolls it toward you. Gallium would remember one who speaks in only name.
What if he didn't need to be woken up?
That is concerning. All have fallen asleep. All have fallen asleep. All are part of long sleep. Gallium thinks. Can you give me another insight check?
Sure.
That moment of hesitation. Fucking hell. That moment of hesitation where he mentioned that he thinks. You see something slip. He's concealing something.
I'm going to let it pass.
Okay.
But I'm going to do so with a poker face of... I'm going to kind of, like, arch an eyebrow like I know that he's concealing something, but I'm going to let it go.
Okay. You see him glance askance of you. And
For-
perhaps he realizes...
For what it's worth, Bones is... I am a terrible judge of character. Not my forte. Bones can take the measure of a person in, like, a minute. She's terrifyingly good at it. She would not travel with someone who is bad. Not like that.
Then this Karen is not someone to worry about. I will accept this. Gallium will accept this.
And we will track down the Karn and the Roar, and you will speak with them.
It is plan. In the meantime, you have not been to Mother Country. Gallium has visited Gilneas looking for history. Found none, but did learn recipe for glass. Will show you.
Of course. And Vanya can give us the course on being actually Gilnean.
Yes. Vanya, please begin. We have much ground to cover.
What?
So as Galleon begins to try and pull from you a lesson in being a Gilnean.
And Alina laughs the entire time.
Alina laughs the entire time, checking some passive perceptions. Heldy, your keen tiefling ears pick up the sound of snapping branches in the distance, cracking twigs and leaves, and what sounds to be dragging from some distance away. You hear a wet thud and a low drone.
I think there's undead around.
Vanya looks over at Heldy and then looks at Jack and Frank.
No. Ones that are still fleshy.
Zombies?
And Hildy will kind of point in the general direction where she heard noises from.
Heldy, as you turn your direction toward it, Galleon lifts the torch and kind of casts some light in that direction. And all of you can see that there is some rustling in the bushes in the distance.
I'll take my dancing lights, the 3 of them that I've had kind of providing us ambient light, and I'll cast them out into that direction. I'll post a spell so you can see what their ranges are.
Sure thing. Dancing lights. 60 feet. Yeah. So you cast your dancing lights and you begin to illuminate the bushes in the distance, and you do see, silhouetted by your light, there are several entities skulking forward in the woods, staggering forward, dragging limbs, approaching you from the side, not quite flanking you, but it looks as though as you are approaching on the road, there is a chance that you may run into them.
Oh.
Gallium kind of cups his palm to his brow and again drops the reins, Lena.
Pick up the reins.
Pick up the reins. Is this good undead or bad undead?
probably bad.
Hmm. And he sort of like reaches to his side, removes his hand from his brow, reaches to his side and begins to draw a weapon, but pauses and leaves it in the scabbard. Well, Galleon thinks if we push Ankylosaur, we will move past him quickly, unless you are wanting to yick. He draws his finger across his mouth.
Well, I'm usually for murdering a bunch of undead who threaten the road. I think that perhaps we are all could use a rest before we get into another fight. What about the rest of you?
I'd like a rest, but
I could certainly benefit from one. I know a few simple spells to cast, but
I can.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you first.
I can help protect the area we rest. I have something for that.
No, I mean, we can continue on to the city and not destroy the undead, or we could just destroy the undead. Like, that's the options.
Oh, by all means, let's just go. If they don't bother us, we'd probably be here all night fighting them.
That is fair.
Very well. Galleon will he'll watch them for a moment, look to you, Alina, and he'll take the reins back and flick them down, cracking them across the backs of the Ankylosaurus. They let out a grunt as the wagon lurches forward. The wheels making lots of noise, kicking out dust behind you. These creatures begin to sort of bolt and dig into the earth, trundling forward. It's rocky. It's messy. The wagon kind of fishtails a little bit. But after, a very brief moment where it looked like perhaps they might be within striking range, you manage to circumvent the party of undead and leave them behind. They disappear in the darkness behind you. Galleon kind of laughs like an idiot as, you guys just barely got out of dodge. And as you guys are moving at such a quick pace, the wind, the breeze, is cool. It pushes back your hair. For several moments longer, the fast pace of these beasts continues. And Banjay, they're moving faster than you recognize these creatures being able to. They are emboldened by something, moving with alacrity.
And Banjay looks around to try to see if maybe they're chasing something in the, like what in the cart they might be chasing. It's certainly not coconuts. That's ridiculous.
No, the undead they're far behind. They seem to have been drawn just by the light or by your heartbeats. They continue to follow until they disappear into the darkness.
Well, that was odd.
So zombies? That's pretty normal.
No, they were moving a bit faster than I'm used to.
Oh no, the Ankylosaurus are moving fast.
Ankylosaurus.
Ankylosaurus, sorry. The dinosaurs that are dragging you guys right now are like bolting, and the wagon is rocking and making all kinds of noise. It's like a hayride from hell, Eventually, it comes to a trundling. It slows down a bit, but eventually, the movement grows to a steady, slower pace as the setting sun behind you guys, almost fully set, casts what's kind of like a reddish gleam through the area around you. You guys can see stars above, sun at your back between the branches, and you find yourself on the road traveling steadily south.
And Banjay leans forward again.
Thanks for keeping us away from the undead, guys.
Speaking to the Ankylosauruses.
They grunt in approval of your approval. You see that they have not really broken a sweat. They are beasts of burden.
They approve of your approval. I get the impression these are very practical dinosaurs.
Which dinosaur isn't? Which among them?
The most feathery ones?
The most feathery ones. Yes, actually, they're kind of vain, those ones. As your wagon continues southward, more time passes. Gallium begins to more formally introduce himself. You learn that he is essentially in acquisitions of a sort because of the god that he follows. His whole raison d'etre is to uncover old things, to find secrets, to collect knowledge for knowledge's sake. Primarily to bring it back to the Lyceum. It's a lifestyle that he's been going with for several decades now. Vanya, you learn that he's versed in various mythos. You two share a couple of stories about different fairy tales to kill the time. Back and forth. Sometimes he would bring up a fairy fable that you're not well versed in. You'd introduce him to a Gilnean horror story that both delights and frightens him.
That's about right.
That's about right. Alina, as you play your lute, you find out that he cannot sing, but he loves to sing. And at
That's
every
Alina's
opportunity,
favorite type of person.
Vanya, at every opportunity, you convince Gallium to not sing and instead do anything else but sing. He has a deep, loud baritone that's completely off key. Heldy, you get the impression that he is a tourist. Just off the cuff insight. He's definitely not from here, but he's not dislike a lot of the people in port that you've met. Incognitus, this guy is not a murder hobo, but he is almost on the borderline. You've worked with a number of adventurers during your time as an adventurer, and you can see the costs and benefit, the risk and benefit of this entity being in your party. It's not all bad. He is very hittable, but you see that there is a lot of room for halfling wisdom to be adopted that he probably will not adopt. And as you take in the measure of your new companion, eventually you begin to notice flickering lights in the distance. In Banjay, you are the most well-traveled in the woods. You recognize that you guys are not too far away from Xalyrus Landing. And as you start to see flickering lights, you recognize, Incognitus with your keen eyes and Heldy with your dark vision, you recognize that it's the flickering of torches? No, lanterns. There appear to be lanterns lit in the distance.
Lando!
That's Xyros's Landing, not Port Nyanzara, correct?
It is Xalyrus' Landing. You see torchlight in that direction.
That absolutely does not change with Mbanji's case.
There is much land.
Yes. Oh, fuck. I wonder if it's more Fae.
You don't like Fae?
We just got our ass kicked by the Redcaps, sir.
Maybe you did.
Okay, I just got my ass kicked by Redcaps.
Redcaps are proficient in the ass kicking. It is why their boots are made of metal.
So, I am concerned that we just retook it for some other Fae to move in. Or, could be Stonemender's boys. That would be nice.
There was also a troll.
There was also a troll.
A troll and redcaps, huh?
Yeah.
That is a strange pairing. Galleon will believe it. This is point of concern. Would you like Galleon to stop Ankylosaurus? Not sure if path to this landing of yours.
We could stop in. What do you think? I will look to the party.
If it's Faye, I could probably talk to him. I mean, assuming it's the good Faye and not the bad Faye. But it's more likely probably just, who'd you say, Stone Meter's boys?
Stonemender, he has a contract with Thorak to recover some bones. And I'll motion to the bones that we had recovered. I believe they're in the bag. If not, they're around somewhere.
Yeah, the troll said something about a gate. I
Yeah.
don't know what you mean.
Something that we need to talk to Uncle Nori about. Alright, fuck, let's, LD or stealthy?
If there are more red caps, it would be better for everyone if we dealt with them.
That's true. Alright, let's go check it out.
Galleon will park Ankylosaur here and move sneaky on the foot.
Sneaky on the foot.
He nods and he pulls back on the reins. The Ankylosaurs come to a stop. He vaults over the side of the wagon, the carriage, and begins to, get up some rope and tether them to a nearby tree. You guys stretch out your legs, get ready to move. It is getting later in the evening as the sun filters through the trees. Let's move you guys to a new map.
Question. With all of this riding and stuff, would this be anything like a rest?
You know what? You guys have been moving and resting in this carriage for long enough. I would say that yes, you have allowed long enough to have a rest.
Okay.
All right, just double checking, making sure everyone can actually see. Let me grab the B team and just throw them on the map randomly. Hey. All right, so if you so choose, you can choose to roll hit die retroactively before entering the map. Any of your abilities that refresh in a short rest, refresh.
Well, the game's paused.
I have unpaused the game. All right, so
Good.
okay. Let me get Gallium on the map too.
To be sure, spells recover on short rest? Or is it long?
Spells do not.
Okay, just long. Okay. Only if you're a warlock.
Only if you're a warlock.
Your wild shapes will, though.
Your wild shapes refresh, yes. And some spells can be recovered on a short rest if you're like a wizard. If you are a cleric and you use the to channel divinity to get the spell slot back, that's also a thing you can do. Paladins can do that once a day. And I think that covers it. So, you guys make your way to a familiar site. It's not the same as you left it before. As you approach the crater that leads to Xylarus' corpse, you see that a number of the bags have been moved. The satchels, the scaffolding, the tools. A lot of them have been moved ever so slightly out of position. Just slightly different than they were before. No music, by the way. What do you mean no music? Hold on.
It's been quiet for quite a while.
What? How about now?
Yes, now
Yes.
Now you hear it. Damn. I'm sorry that was quiet for so long.
That was supposed to loot.
Okay. Those of you
I
with
don't
a
hear
passive
it.
turn up. It might not be up enough.
Turn up for what?
Yeah, I've got playing on my end.
Yeah,
Just-
it's not. I can't hear it at all on my end.
okay, well, we'll have to fix that next time. As you enter into the area, you find that a lot of the items have been moved around and slightly shifted and maybe repositioned ever so slightly. As you enter into the area, you find that a golden red glow has been cast across the trees, the ground. Dusky light and sunset ambient filtering through the leaves of the trees, causing the grass to move and sway. An optical illusion of the shadows, certainly playing on your senses. Those of you who have a passive perception of 15 or higher, that would be Heldy and Incognitus. You hear voices in the distance. Go on, put that down. Well, that doesn't go there. It's not where you left it. I know where it went. It went over here. No, it went over there. Off in this direction. Some quiet bickering.
At least they don't sound as aggressive as what.
You don't hear signs of aggression.
Alina's just gonna be that dumbass and just move forward and be like, "Alright, who's here now?"
Oh, what was that? What was it? Oh, it's a witness. I think it's a witness. Are you? Hey, over here. Hi there. You know what happened over here?
As you call out from behind the dragon's wing, steps a small, what looks to be at first to be a gnome, until you notice just how much fur is covering its body. It's the hairiest gnome you've ever seen at first blush. As they step out into the light, you realize that instead of boots, they have these somewhat large, padded paws for feet, mottled with brown and white fur. Slim of build, short of stature, with tufted cheeks and a rounded, blunt nose. The creature's two tall ears perk up at attention as they approach you. Upon their body, you see very simple leather armors, and it's very well-appointed cut, looking almost like a cross between an armor vest and a very nice coat. At their hip, there appears to be a scabbard for a dagger, and on their back, you immediately recognize a quiver of arrows and a bow. As this creature approaches and lifts a hand to hail you. Seconds later, a second one appears from out behind the dragon's wing.
Has Alina seen bunny people before?
No.
Alina, you can roll. Have you seen one? No. Do you know what they are? Possibly. You can roll a check if you want to roll a check, but this would be the first time that you have encountered a.
I'd like to roll a check as well.
That's
Just
a
draw down my
13.
fairy lore.
Absolutely.
Are those talking rabbits? The fuck is that?
Is that a talking cactus? No, it's a tiefling, you fool. A tiefling. I never seen a tiefling with dumplings for horns. It's not dumplings, it's horns. Look what artichokes to me.
Artichokes
Lena.
don't grow on cactus.
Oh, look, do I look like I know what a cactus looks like? Well, you did say cactus.
Has Mbanya ever seen creatures like this?
And Banja, you have never seen them, but they look to be hares, only they stand upright and talk in the words of men. First, Alina. 13, no, you have never seen a rabbit man before, but with a 13, And survival, this is fey bullshit. Absolutely, it can't not be. This is survival, and your gut tells you that. This is some kind of fairy bullshit. An Arcana check for Vanya. You have done some studying of the planes and the way that Petal's hackles have raised, and the way that she's giggling in your ear. You recognize immediately this is something fairy related. You rack your brain, and you do recall stories about creatures known as Harengon, or Hirangon, as some of the folklore would suggest. Sometimes they are brigands and pilferers. Sometimes they are benevolent creatures that work on the behest of someone bigger and more bossy. They are not exactly a meek people. They're intelligent, and they are known to be on both sides of the spectrum, whereas they might be pesky troublemakers or loyal allies. Alina, as you approach, this one in the front begins to approach as well. The guy behind him is a little more... he has a little bit more trepidation as he takes in the entirety of your group. He seems to notice the fact that you have come with an armored group. The other guy seems less perturbed about that.
Good evening. I'm Blackguard and Alina Maria. Please tell me we're not here to murder a bunch of people like the last ones.
The man in the front, he brings a pod hand to his chest and gives you a little bit of a bow.
Pleased to meet your acquaintance. My name is Garibik Kenai. He's my friend Purdon Longears. We are investigating on the purview of the domain of Amber Breeze. We've not seen hide nor hair of human folk or green-skinned tieflings or whatever the hell that is. Or that. How many of you have made of metal? Not made of iron, I hope.
Harengon! They're Harengon!
Hello, yeah, it's me. Nice to meet you.
Vanya
Gallium is the only one made of metal. Incognitus and I are just wearing, heavy-ass armor?
Heavy-ass armor.
Heavy-ass armor.
I
Alright.
mentioned heavy-ass armor, and he tilts to the side, but your shield is in the way of your backside. He doesn't seem sold, but he nods.
I mean, if you want to look, I'll move the shield. Anyway.
Yeah, that's armor.
So, before earlier, there were a bunch of red caps and a troll trying to claim a gate. She just makes like quotes over the gate part. This injured a few people, scared off a bunch of others. Is this your Amber Breeze person?
He rubs under his nose, and the other Harengon gentleman approaches. Purdon speaks up.
Oh, well, that does explain the blood.
Garibik nods in your direction.
Amber Breeze, it's a place. It is a domain of the Feywild, as you might call it. Kind of like this place, actually. Breezy, perpetually amber-coloured. Currently under the rulership of the Autumn Prince.
He thumbs at himself and thumbs at the other.
We're the closest thing to law folk that we've got there. And you say people were hurt. Well, it's not surprising that red cabs are. Are there any left?
A couple took off into the woods, but we killed most of them.
Scratches the side of his face.
Oh, blast it all. Well, we should probably take a look for him. Yeah, we should probably take a look for him at some point. They won't live long, unless there's a large population of people nearby. There's not a large population of people nearby, is it?
Yeah, so there's a city like that way, and then there's a coconut plantations that way.
Oh, for Peter's sake. Purdon, get word back to dispatch, and we'll probably run a few more people. Who's fun enough to get here in the first place? Yeah, we need more. All right. And just nurse this headache a little bit. Getting through wasn't exactly easy. Right. Well, you sit in your tough and you do that, and get back to me when you feel like getting back to work. Don't be a dick about it.
Alright, so you seem like a more reasonable type of fae.
He's reasonable in the eye of the beholder, but we do like to keep up good appearances, eh?
You haven't opened with murder, so reasonable.
Well, there's about 20 of you and 2 of us, but also we're not keen on shooting first and asking questions after.
Me neither.
He gestures near your feet, and you realize that you are standing next to the preserved body of the large troll. And Banja, you were almost on top of it.
Am I to suspect then that this is your work?
I mean, I took his head off, but other people in our party did the rest. Yeah.
You know, we wasn't sure it was Hodag. We wasn't sure it was Hodag. First we found Banjo and realised it must be Hodag. Then we found its body and realised it must be Hodag. So congratulations on taking out Hodag. Kind of a dick.
Hodag?
Hodag.
Hodag's the name of this guy?
Alright.
Well,
apologies if he was one of yours.
Well, he was in the court of the Autumn Prince. Was trapped there for quite a while. I always had big ambitions about getting out, and, well, said he was going to get out. Got a bunch of red caps, and then he got out. Not quite sure. We brought an archist in to see how maybe it was possible. He's flying around here somewhere. We'll touch base on that later. But yes, thank you for taking care of Hodag. A few people got hurt when he left. Those band of redcaps, they're murderous folk, and they made quite a mess before they left.
DM, I have been looking in my notes for the past few minutes. Maybe the change to a new program has shifted things, but I don't see which court my dream friends are from. From summer or spring?
Baby's
I think they were autumn.
Okay.
I think the baby's up.
Grumpy one that tried to force his way through was Winter Court, though, I believe.
That was winter. There was a winter court creature that tried to get through you, yes. Gloaming court, specifically.
Right. Okay, so let's be friends. Cool.
You mentioned that, and he kind of looks you over,
Allies.
takes a step toward you, sizes you up, and extends a hand.
I'll shake his hand because I'm an idiot.
He smiles, gives you a firm handshake, and nods.
All right, let us be bonded in friendship. Pleased to meet you again.
Takes a step back, and then Banja, you step forward.
Yeah, and Banja's kind of like, he's huge, so he's kind of looming and looks really excited to see somebody else from the Autumn Court.
Like, do you recognize me, dude?
He looks you over, looks you up and down.
Well, you're about 7 feet of fur and green stuff. You're not a troll. I'm afraid I do not.
Oh, man.
Hey, friends? And he extends a hand.
We can absolutely be friends.
And he enthusiastically takes the hand.
These two are dumbasses. I love it so much.
He clasps your hand, squeezes it, gives it a firm shake, and gives you a nod.
Hildy kind of leans towards Vanya and is squinting at the situation and quietly speaks.
I don't think it's a smart idea to make friends with Faye, is it?
Vanya looks somewhat starry-eyed.
Petal's just giggling. Just giggling.
It is far better to be friends with Faye than enemies.
Incognitus just rocks her hand back and forth.
Garabik continues to shake your hand before pulling his hand away.
I don't care what they say about you, prime material folk. You seem like good creatures.
Wait, what? They say things about me?
Anyway, you're welcome to the spoils of war, but there was something that these redcaps left behind that we would like to keep for ourselves. Have you seen him carrying?
And he reaches to his hip and pulls out a leather satchel. Hildy, you recognize the leather satchel. You had witnessed the redcaps downing something from inside before going berserk.
If then you have These, if you've collected them, I would implore you to please turn them over to us. We are
Yeah.
confiscating all of them.
Oh, the
No,
weird drugs.
I didn't want to touch that. No.
Drugs? Oh, you think they're drugs? Oh, well, I suppose you could call them drugs.
What are they?
Like it says, pixie fire.
Pixie fire. And Imanje leans in. What's it do? Well,
Makes
you know
you
what it
fucking
does.
crazy, it does. Makes you froth over the mouth and try to kill everything around you like a goddamn pissed off pixie. It's nasty stuff. You distill it by taking pixie folk and torturing them, making them angry, tilting them. And when they reach the prime of their rage, snuffing out their light. It's damn brutal, damn barbaric. These as remains.
Imanje leans away. Oh, that's not cool.
I don't think that any of us took any. I'll look to the party.
I certainly do not.
What does this stuff look like?
It is a satchel of it looks like a leather water skin, but the contents, which are in this bag that he's holding, is covered with flecks of pink and blue and white, what looks to be glitter.
When we defeated the Red Caps, we just kind of left them here. We took the troll's head, but that was about it.
You took his head?
No, the head's
Well-
in the pond over
The
there.
head's in the pond.
Oh, he only had one head.
But, well, we moved the head. I didn't mean we took it with us as a prize. That's gross.
Took the other
Yeah,
bits.
We have his heart, though.
You took his heart. Oh, that's a trophy, it is. Well, you're welcome to the heart. So long as you didn't take none of these, then we're square. Hey, Baron, you about to get your ass up and get back to work. What was it, 6 of them, 7 of them? Oh, it was 8 of them. We found 8 of the packages. I suppose, and then each of them carried one, and that means that we've got, only a few more to look out for.
Wasn't there one that got away?
A couple of them got away, yeah.
Yeah,
was
Bodge is
gonna say
gonna
there was-
mention that.
There was 2 that ran off, and it's possible that they came back for whatever they wanted.
Exactly.
Right. Well, we're going to take these, and we will get someone else to take a look and find the rest of them. Maybe get some feathers to put in them.
And as he kind of rambles on, and Banjay closest to the front, and Heldy and Incognitus, you guys are kind of on alert. You're watching things. You see a dark figure, a very large bird, kind of flutter in and land in the treetops, just quietly perching in the obscurity and the dusk. Heldy, with your dark vision, you can kind of pierce through the haze of the gloom, and you see that this creature is very well hidden, but it's not completely hidden from your view. Over by this tree, you see a large owl, not large, medium-sized, rotund owl, sporting a pair of thick spectacles and what appears to be a cloak, through which their feathers have now kind of folded around, almost like, their sleeves, the feathers poke out and then wrap around them. They watch quizzically from a distance.
You said Imanje sees this as well, right?
Yeah, and Bungie, you would have seen the fluttering. You see the fluttering, you see it land, but you don't see it as it kind of blends into the trees.
Is that your friend over there?
And she points up into the trees.
Oh, we got a lot of friends there.
He turns his head around, looks up in the trees, cups his hand to his brow. Hornwall! Is that you? Or am I going to have Purge shoot you? Woo-hoo. Don't threaten me, you little knave. This owl pokes its head out from the treetops and makes its presence known as it sort of looms over the trees and peeks at you and your party and the Harengon.
Oh my goodness, more animal people. This is cool.
It's like we walked into a Tale of Pieterhas. Peteras. He's a rabbit. I gesture towards a Harengun. They're some of the
Yeah,
better
yeah.
stories in Gilnean.
Yeah, these little mischievous rabbit goes and does things, yeah.
Garabik kind of glances back at you and cocks a brow. You got stories about me?
Peterhouse.
Peter? No, I'm Garabik.
Garabik, yes. So,
And that's Purden.
and
And that's Hornwall.
And that's Hornwall.
Hey,
Hornwall. That is Hornwall. Holy shit. Hi. Okay, so, hello friends. Welcome to Tikal. We have not had Fae here for a very, very long time, probably centuries.
Approximately 1,700 years.
Yeah, I don't know. I was talking to Bones and she was gibbering something about a lich named Asarak. I don't know shit about it. So,
The three kind of glance between each other as you mention the name. What's his name? Garabik kind of shrugs. The owl creature kind of brushes underneath their beak.
So, welcome to Tikal. This giant fucker was named Zilras. We killed him a couple weeks ago. Yeah. Time is weird, soup. Anyway, we have workmen coming who are stripping the body. They're dwarfs. Little, they're like little humans. Don't tell them I said that they're like little humans. They get very offended.
They one by one, the creatures nod in your direction, taking in the information. So there's more coming this way. Good. We were pleased to make their acquaintance and make lots of friends. That said, you folks don't seem particularly superstitious or arrow happy. Am I to believe that if they arrive here, that we will be well received as you have received us?
Maybe, keep it on the down low while I get our leader, Norixius, kind of read in on the situation so he is aware that we have a new settlement? Gate? Whatever this is for you all. So that we can make sure all the maps are updated and everyone is on the same page that we are friends.
The large owl kind of flutters and makes very little noise as it flits across and perches in a tree nearby, kind of between you and Mbanje, Alina. Peering down at you, his neck kind of extends a little bit, and you see his feathers fluff up as he tilts his head. Ooh. Oh, you call it a gate? A perforation is more apt. You said this was a dragon? Ooh. What kind?
Black fucker.
His feathers kind of ruffle, and he quizzically squints a little bit, looking
Though-
visibly...
Out
His
of character.
blood was weird.
He was a green dragon.
Oh, he was a green dragon?
Yeah.
Oh, he was black. Okay. Green dragon with weird blood that made things grow, which is why this has become a popular spot for people to get supplies for potions and things like that.
So as you say that, just with your passive perception, passive insight rather, you see him smile, and his brows lift up, and he fluffs up, his chest swells up, and you get the impression that, he looks like he just won a bet. Kind of secure in his own confidence and patting himself on the back, he nods in your direction. Ooh. That makes sense. A green dragon. I told you, Garabik.
How does that make what's the difference of what color dragon it was?
He begins to laugh, and he begins to flutter downward, landing nearby with surprising quietness to him. He brings his feathery arm to his chest and bows. I am Arcanist Hornwall, old Hornwall, so I am gone by.
Dragons, they are manifestations of the prime material plane. Manifestations of magic. Each is tied to some place that this world is made from. Prime essentia. Green dragons are tied to forests. It makes sense that when they bleed, life begins to bloom. Ooh, ooh. When they perish, when they are particularly old and particularly powerful, it opens up perforations. Oftentimes their graves become gates, as you call them. Ooh. But I have looked around in this world so far. This, what did you call it? A Tekal?
Tickle, yes.
Tekal.
Well, the island is Tikal, but the world is Mobius.
That's
It's
true.
only an island? It's so big. Ooh, what wonders.
Yeah, we know it's all quite wonderful. You get to a point, Hornwall.
Yes, I'm getting to a point.
Philistine.
I've noticed that magic is strange here. We've wondered long why we are unable to pass through from one side to another. Why Amber Breeze cannot move. Why it is tightly locked, metaphysically speaking. The weave here. It isn't light, it's heavy. It is as though the very fabric of magic has been weighed down by a great anchor. Ooh, ooh. Close to the ground, stable.
We should introduce you to Reginald Crosp and Bones. They've been researching this. I admit that I zoned out during most of what she said.
He kind of cocks a brow at you and realizes what he's dealing with rather quickly, and inclines his head.
The long and short of it, then. Where Zyrus fell, it is not as though the anchor has been lifted, but instead the ambient magic has given lift to the weave. A tiny little pocket where tiny little things can flit through. Ooh, ooh. Tiny things like me. And these two. And, spirits, perhaps.
Spirits.
So how the fuck did a troll get through?
Yeah, Hornwall, that doesn't explain how Hodad got through. He's big as fuck. He's fat as shit.
Well,
That's not very nice to speak of the dead that way.
Yeah, he's dead. He's not going to complain.
well, if my dream is anything to go by, maybe somebody in tune with the Feywild was an unfortunate gate of their own.
The living gate? Ooh, ooh. Possibly. I imagine there's probably not much left of them for such a large and girthy thing to pass through.
Najee pats his chest pretty soundly.
I do have.
Hmm?
Oh, you first.
I had a dream that a bunch of spirits came out of me, and I felt stronger after it. But there was also, I guess it was like a troll in the Winter Court that tried to get out too. But we were able to get rid of it. Though I guess if it got through, I'd have been pretty dead like, because even the hand was just as big as half my body.
What?
I wasn't high, but I had a dream.
The fact that you mentioned your level of intoxication is somewhat telling.
I work with tonics and potions and herbs and spices.
Is pipe a spice? Ooh, ooh.
Anything's a spice if you try hard enough.
Depends on if you blink it or you smoke it.
That doesn't always end the way you think it would.
The point is, I had a dream, and Fae were involved, and I kind of know some Fae. I know a lot of Fae. They're like little spirits, and they kind of shouted their names at me. So I can't like give you the names. Stuff like Dream and Happy and Portmanteau and stuff.
Yeah, are you getting to a point? Because that doesn't explain how the fuck a troll got through a little hole.
A troll. After the spirits came out of me, they warned me to hurry up and close my chest. So they had to help me like close my chest because a troll was coming. So if there was another living person gate kind of thing, and they were less willful and less strong and amazing as I was, then they'd have probably made it through. And they probably killed them.
I want to believe you weren't high when these happened. I really
I was
do.
not high. I was not high. Have more faith in me.
I don't think you helped in the situation.
Right.
You've given no input.
Be high if you want to. We're not cops. I mean, we're cops, but we're not cops. Cops.
Same.
We're not Vice.
We're not fake cops, not vice cops. We're not narcs.
For shits and giggles, can I just like roll to see if Hildy might be able to like connect? How?
Yeah. Investigation, insight. Based on what Mbanji has told you, and based on what the owl has mentioned.
Okay, I'll do investigation. 15.
15. So a few things kind of click into place as you try to make sense of this fucking bullshit, ridiculous situation. One moment. And Banji had mentioned this creature forcing its way through, squeezing through, and Hornball had mentioned, it would probably blow someone up. It would probably explode if something so big would try to pass through. There had been mention of small creatures slipping through. You are reminded of the fight you had recently. How easily Hodak's body parts could be severed. How his arm popped off, sloughed to the ground, and then started to chase after you. Could he fit through a tiny gate? Not in one piece.
Her face is kind of doing like that mathematical meme as she's like trying to put together like how the fuck. And then it dawns on her. And she has like this really disgusted look on her face.
Is it normal for trolls to still have moving parts even though you lopped them off?
The two Harengon nod. The owl kind of grimaces with his beak, if that can be done, and he inclines his head.
Ooh, nasty things, those trolls. Smelly, greasy, filthy fingernails. But yes, they regenerate. Their ability to regenerate is incredible. They can stitch themselves back together from the most grievous of wounds. So long as they haven't been afflicted by fire or acid, they will regenerate and sometimes attach their limbs. Sometimes their limbs will grow into new trolls. Indeed.
Yeah, I think this crazy bastard cut himself up to get through.
He cut himself into pieces?
Was it his last resort?
I hate you.
Vanya blinks in uncomprehension.
I mean, that's the only sense it makes, because even his head was still flapping before we threw it.
Maul rubs beneath his beak and slowly nods.
In the distance, you see Gallium has turned over a rock and appears to be searching just in the dirt idly.
He's looking for bugs.
Looking for bugs. Kind of nod. Gallium has known of trolls. On this side as well, they are known to regenerate. Their blood is very, very valuable to alchemists. Ooh, this is true. A number of magical concoctions could... we were talking about icky, disgusting severing of limbs. Yes, actually, that makes a measure of sense. If the red caps were to bring him piece by piece, they could theoretically reassemble him. They may have brought him through the tiny little perforation over in that spring. He gestures toward where the dragon's head was, where the pool of crystal clear water remains. A little bit of a sparkle to it as the light hits it.
The perforation with the spring? That's where we threw the head, and it stayed clean. That's very interesting.
He nods his head a little bit. That would make a measure of sense. The autumn court and the summer courts are known for their cleanliness, their beauty, and their overall vivacity. And if the gloaming court were to overlap, perhaps it would be murky or even icy. But it would seem that a little bit of the amber breeze is slipping through, bit by bit. At least right here. Into the water and perhaps into the land. And I think I saw some phosphorescent mushrooms over there that look rather quite similar to the ones at home.
Well, when we talk to the bosses, they're gonna probably want to know if this amber slipping through is dangerous to anyone.
The three fey creatures collectively look at each other and kind of shrug. It wouldn't be the first time that the Feywild has slipped through from one side to another. Fairy circles, broken towers, all manner of places can lead through one side to the other. Though very rarely does it happen here. In fact, almost never. Yeah, we're pretty sure what he was planning to do. Considering this is the only way through, it seems like Hodag was trying to set up imminent domain. If he were to claim domain of the gate, then he could instill a toll. Anyone coming or going would have to pay him a toll, as trolls want to toll. I believe that's the same here as it is there.
As like Airmag. Hilly kind of a face.
Gesundheit.
Yeah, thank you.
Giant dragon turtle that lives in the bay and charges us rent.
You see ears just collectively lift up. The owl's brows go high. A dragon turtle? From the plane of water here? Oh, I must see it. I must see it. Ooh, ooh.
Well, if you're looking for like some sort of visiting program, we can take you to Port Nyanzaru. Our friend Gallium has joined us. We can introduce you to our Arcanist.
Oh, dear sir, do forgive my excitability. We must ask for permission for these things. You don't have to. You can just do it. No, we must ask for permission. Okay, I guess we're asking for permission. You said you're kind of a law person, but you're not a cop. Do we have permission to meet with your people?
I give you permission to meet with Arcanist Reginald Crosp.
Looks for me. Oh, that's most excellent. Yes, thank you.
And we can take you. I mean, there's plenty of room in the wagon.
Wagon ride. Wagon ride. Ooh, that does sound delightful. Several moments pass as they begin to speak with one another in a language that... Who speaks Sylvan?
Banjay.
Probably in Banjay.
Yeah, my other tiefling does. I don't. So.
I speak Elvish, not Sylvan. That's got to
change. Oh, no. So,
you might get like every fifth word.
Yeah, you get like every fifth word. It sounds like Elven, it feels like Elven, but it's like a different flavor of fruit. Definitely fruity, different kind of fruit. And
It's like Creole French versus actual French.
kind of, sort of.
End of England are you listening to English from?
It's like listening to somebody from Scotland versus somebody from England.
Oh, Christ, no. Yeah, sure, why not? They kind of collectively nod their heads and turn in your direction. Passive perceptions above 15. That's Incognitus and Heldy?
Yeah.
9:15.
All right. As the sun is almost fully set and the sky grows dark, Heldy, you're kind of always keeping an eye out for problems and issues and things to go wrong. It's just kind of one half luck, one half keeping your eyes the fuck open. Incognitus, similar deal. You are an adventurer. You're always waiting for a boot to drop. So you both catch a little flicker in the sky. It draws your attention up toward the tree line and over, at which point, in the distance, you see a thin, white column of brilliant light appear far in the distance toward the southeast.
Well,
It's gone. It goes for several seconds, illuminating the sky, then snuffs out.
what the fuck was that?
What was what?
It was just, there was light.
Did we get enough time for Heldy and Incognitus to point it out to us?
Yeah. So Heldy and Incognitus, you guys pointed out, and the rest of you kind of turn your attention outward to the skyline, and Heldy's just kind of there and like waiting. Galleon puts his hand to his brow and kind of furrows it and looks outward, and you guys watch. For a few seconds, it seems like nothing had happened. But then again, Heldy and Incognitus, you guys are expecting to see it, and the rest of you witness as a thin column of brilliant white light illuminates the horizon of the tree line toward the southeast. And then another. Right next to it, very thin, side by side in close proximity, you see these beams of light.
With my Outlander background, would I know approximately, can I get an idea of what is around there?
You can roll a check with advantage unless you want to get somewhere high up to get a better look. You notice this, and like your first instinct is, I want to see a better look. You look for like points of elevation, and you realize that Xylarus's hump, his back, is taller than some of the trees here.
Yeah, I'm gonna climb. I've got a fucking +6 in athletics. I will climb up.
All right, Lena, go ahead and put yourself on the mat. And Bonjay, what are you saying?
I have Outlander as well. I would like to look.
Oh yeah, the same thought occurs to you.
This one?
Don't know how close you are. Don't know how good you are with trees, but you see Alina is scrambling for higher ground. All right, you two work together to climb up. It is spongy under your feet because it's a corpse.
Alina,
but you managed to climb between the creatures. Yeah, it's a very familiar corpse. This is your corpse. You get up on top of its hump. And thankfully, it's already had its death rattle. It is very much solid, except for maybe in some spots. Heavy armor, watch out. You cup your hand to your brow and you look out, and Bonjay, you cup your hand and you look out as you see more lights in the distance. They stay for several seconds. My bloody dragon hump, thank you. I couldn't be happier that we've made 2 musical references. Who wants to make the check? And what check is it going to be?
It'll probably be survival.
Survival? All right.
We're both trained in Outlander. You did say we would have advantage, so would it just lower the DC if we're working together?
Mm-hmm.
So I have
a check with advantage.
I have a +6. What you got?
I got a +3, so go ahead and do it. Alina will offer, like, oh, I think it's that
Do
way
you
with
get on Alina's shoulders?
I mean, you can.
The Fae are just watching, like, what the fuck are these people doing?
It's yeah.
Maybe the stories are true.
16 is better than 15. You have the fey creatures are kind of like watching you as you're doing this. They have taken note. The owl begins to flutter up and fly up toward the location. Up above the tree line, and then it goes higher and higher and higher still as you see more of those lights appear. Alina, you do and Banjay, you do recognize this area. This is near one of the places that you have camped out before. What you believed to be a place of power, so you could like meditate and get in touch with the ancient peoples. You remember that there's like a monument to some kind of like giant or something, half buried in the ground near here, and it was totally a place to just veg out and chill with Star and just pontificate about what could have happened to this giant dude who's in the ground. It is Sentinel's Landing, as you understand it.
And Banjay?
Sorry, the Sentinel's Head, as you understand it.
And Banjay is going to note that out loud.
It's a Sentinel's Head. Oh, for fuck's sake.
You don't seem happy about that.
I mean, it's a lot of things happening in one day. Alright. Is that, how far away is that? A couple of hours, or?
Couple of hours. You're heading in that direction, then you kind of have to kind of diverge away from the old road to get to it. You can get there by maybe, it's going to take you a bit. It's going to take you a little bit to get there.
It'll take a few hours to get there.
Ooh. The owl creature, Hornwall, he begins to flutter down and hooks his talons into the trees, the branches below, and looks down in your direction.
Ooh, this seems like a place of interest for you. Is it urgent?
It's less that, it's less like a place of interest, more like there's a lot of weird fucking shit going on, and I have a lot of anxiety because I'm very protective of my town and my family, and giant light falling from the sky is definitely high on the list of things that I need to go fucking inspect.
Ooh, you said you were not a cop, but something like it. Understood. Well, since you have made friends with my compatriots, I would like to offer my friendship as well. As a token, I can offer to send you there. I have seen it. I can send it.
That would be appreciated, I think. And I will offer him my hand, and I am happy to make your friendship as well.
He flutters down, he perches near you, and he reaches out like one talon, standing on one foot, pauses, kind of wiggles the claws, plants it back down, brushes himself off with his feathers, and just reaches a wing out toward you.
Yeah, I take it. I shake his wing. We're friends now.
There's you. We are friends now. In the name of friendship, I will offer you this boon. In exchange for your help with the introduction to this Crosp, yes?
Of course, I'd be happy to introduce you.
Quid pro quo. Wondrous. He stands aside and looks at those presents. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I could gather you all if you like.
I think that would be very appreciated, everybody. Are you opposed? Any opposed?
Out of character. You said they were already heading that way?
It's along the way, but it's a few hours away.
Okay. So where I'm on the Tikal map itself. Is the group at the big skull? Is that where Zilris has died?
It's like, yeah, it's
out of character. What about the poor
that one? Okay.
Sources and the minions?
If you are moving away, what will be done about Skelefriends and Ankylosauruses?
Well, Misha fits in my pocket. The skeletons can take the cart. Gallium, if you want to come with. I think the skeletons can manage that. I can write them a permission slip.
Skeleton?
I'm not 100% confident in their navigational skills at the moment.
That's fair.
Perhaps one will stay behind, go to this Ninjaro, and let us, the people know that you are out and about explaining and exploring a light problem.
That's fair.
Galleon could walk there if you are wanting. Give direction. Galleon will go. He is paladin and cleric of more than some. You have temple. Go to temple. They will give permission slip.
That actually sounds like a great idea.
If you don't mind, Gallium, and I am just gonna pull out a sheet of paper, and it's just I'm going to write you a note. Talk to Lady Chantal at the temple. She'll be able to help you.
Da, will do. We'll warn people of bunny folk, Aragon folk, and the owl man, and then we'll bring paper to Chantal. He's sounding like Chanterelle. His tasty mushroom. Have you had?
Probably, maybe.
I've definitely had it. It's great mushroom.
Gallium reaches out and he takes the note, looks it over, and
Yeah.
kind of licks his finger, puts it in the air, and
He's the Dotve, yeah? He's lit city, torches, braziers.
Yes.
Galleon will see from afar.
Yes, it's very bright. Here, and I'll light a torch and hand it to him. There's the torch. That'll help.
Wunderbar. All of Gallium's torches are waterlogged.
I
He's very bad.
assume so. Yes.
He'll have Gallium's thanks. We'll go and be welcoming Harbinger of Paladin of Raven Queen and friends.
I'm going to confirm with the owl if his spell is strong enough to send the skeletons with us.
the skeleton's with you. He kind of looks over the group and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, yes, that should be doable. Do they count as people or belongings? Ooh. We'll find out soon, yes.
They are their own people. Frank enjoys looking at lights.
That's a strange quality in a skeleton. Ooh.
Gallium takes the paper, makes his way back toward the cart.
We'll see you on the other side. Do not spend long. Gallium will come back out with compass to find you.
All right. We will not stay long, and we will figure out what's going on with those lights.
All right. Gallium waves to the party as he makes his way out toward the wagon. Vanya, your skeletons are near you, I assume. They huddle close. And Hornwall moves off to the side.
Very well. All of you come close and stand in a neat circle nearby here.
He begins speaking in a language that you do not quite understand. Those of you who speak Elven pick up every fourth or fifth word. As the ground begins to shiver and the wind begins to pick up.
Solomon is going to curse at me in every language she knows.
You bet your ass she is.
I put Misha in my pocket.
Misha in the pocket.
Hit puppy.
Pocket dog.
Pocket dog.
That's less than 8 people, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
10-foot cube.
Closer now. Closer. A little closer.
I get into a
Okie dokie.
square because I can do that.
Ooh. He flicks his arms out and his eyes begin to crackle with a vibrant golden light that quickly turns blue and then white as the world around you blurs. You feel the sensation of movement all around you as the wind whips and metaphysical maelstroms push and pull and twist and turn, tumbling.
Ooh, this is more turbulent than I was expecting. Ooh.
As he begins to somewhat audibly freak out as you guys are thrown through the aether.
Ride the wave!
Several seconds pass, and eventually you are deposited somewhat violently out of the air and onto the ground. I need everyone to make me a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, what the fuck?
I've got that weird
Everyone-
thing where I can't do saving throws again.
Everyone gets a +5 to their saving throws for what it's worth.
Oh, yeah.
Hey,
Yeah, give me a second while I manually.
Well, then that makes it a 22.
Yeah, my sheet does not let me roll saving throws.
I'm guessing it's proficiency plus dex.
If you are trained, if you have dexterity saving throws, and as a fighter, I believe you do, it's 10 plus your dex. If you're trained, plus proficiency.
10 plus dex plus proficiency.
Yep. No, sorry, it's a d20 plus dex plus proficiency. What the fuck am I doing?
Leading me
plus-
astray.
Sorry, plus Alina's 3. So yeah,
Alina's
it- there's a lot
5.
of
It's my
pluses.
charisma bonus.
Alina's 5 plus 5 to
And
whatever you
Alina
roll.
is built stupid.
She's built different. And by different, I mean dumb.
Alina is built to max out charisma versus maxing out, anything that's theoretically more quote-unquote useful.
So that's a 12 for me.
12. All right, did anyone roll below a 10?
Nope.
All right. Some of you stumble, some of you tumble, but no one gets hurt as you guys are thrown into the darkness of a wet and misty jungle scene. The scent of water is immediately prevalent, as is a very faint mist. You guys hear rushing water in the distance, as well as a number of sounds of shuffling, scuffling, some words, some panting, as you're made immediately aware of humanoids, creatures nearby that appear to be talking in the distance, collecting themselves. Roll a dex save for this guy.
He's my
Oh,
friend, so he gets a +5.
Plus 5. He nearly eats shit, but he saves himself, beats his wings, kicks up a lot of dirt. Ooh, ooh.
Oh, that reminds me.
Skeletons.
That is a wild ride.
I just want to say that
Pretty
it's,
well tried.
I find it hilarious that with a 17 on die and all the bonuses, the half plate halfling is like the lightest on their fucking feet.
What'd you get?
A 28.
Oh, yeah.
Nimble and or quick. As starlight filters through mostly open canopy, you guys find yourselves on a road. It is dim light all about you as the trees in the distance cast shadows in all the directions. Milky moonlight above beats down as the sun has now fully set. Alina, you have dark vision, correct?
I do.
Alina, just out of the corner near one of these shrubs next to the sentinel's head, you see familiar figures. You recognize the dark-skinned Gilnean, long of hair, big of tit, broad of shoulder, Biff Shiva, holding onto what appears to be an elf of some kind, who has an etherealness to them, kind of flaking off, not holding it all together. You recognize Roar, the person that Gallium was looking for. All of them are very thoroughly beaten up, catching their breath, panting, talking, gathering themselves. A-sides, what are you guys up to?
What just happened?
Oh, for fuck. Sick. Okay. Where's our friend?
Biff has him. Biff has him.
Alina's just gonna shout out, Demon Puncher.
Warrior in the with the Raven Queen.
Karn.
As you guys make your introductions, as A sides flips over to B sides and vice versa, we're gonna call it for tonight.
Alrighty.
Good spot.
Good spot.
Very good spot.
Good spot. We have synchronized. We are back. We have reached parity. You guys have more allies than you know what to do with, which is great because there's a convoy moving south pretty soon. You might need those.
Yeah, I could see Karn's HP bar.
Why can you see Karn's HP bar?
I don't know, but if I click
I
on
can
Leah,
too.
I get my vision circle, but if I click on Incognitus, I don't.
Oh, weird. I lose my circle when I click on Karn too.
Oh, that's weird.
I
So I might have
retain
to.
circles on both tieflings.
I might have to.
I wonder
work out
why.
something like that. Fix the vision.
Probably because they can see forever.
The
like
vision's
to see
fine.
forever.
It's, Incognitus doesn't have dark vision, but Leah does.
Yeah, you have to have the character highlight to have the vision, I guess.
Yeah.
Look at this
So what
fucking party.
what I
There's
thought-
like 12 of you. So, finding safety in numbers.
All the
You're gonna pick
turn
up?
orders.
All the turn orders. We're not doing that. We're gonna pick up as the party meets up and gathers themselves. A new problem faces the A sides in the form of a Danu, and what to do with the rapidly disintegrating Baal Norn. As the B sides, much better off in terms of having their asses whooped than those who had just fought Withers, the grim jester. Perhaps can lend some aid, or at the very least keep guard, while some of you rest. Quick point of... no, never mind. Yeah, so, next game, we are going to pick up with loose cannons.
A and B.
C-sides? D-sides?
A and B.
It's-
It's
You move to
ABBA.
compact disc. It's ABBA. Loose cannons, side singular, revenge and sky. There we go.
The master cut.
Master cut. Thank you all for playing. A little bit long in the tooth this time. Happy you all stuck around. And we'll find another time to play soon, I imagine.
Oh, is it Wednesday
See you
yet?
guys. Is it Wednesday? Hey, you know, I can do
Very
some
much the game.
Thank you guys for sticking around. And I'll be in IMs, poking at you guys, seeing what you want to do. There's going to be a lot of what do you guys want to do going forward, forewarning you all. But I'll address that in IMs.
Alrighty.
Because I'm tired of talking. So I'll see you guys later.
Have a good night,
Have a
everyone.
good night.
Bye.
Peace out. Boo-doo.